Hello, Matt.
Hi there.
What's going on?
Nada, doing this podcast.
That's true. What podcast?
The Gamers 2 podcast. October 18th, 2019. Good year. No. Take that back. It's not a good year. It's not a good year at all.
Mediocrity at best. At best.
At best. Although you were having a good evening, I believe.
I'm having a good evening, but, it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been. It could have been a rough one.
But the Yankees did manage to win Game 5, and we go to Game 6 in Houston tomorrow.
Wasn't looking good for a bit there. I mean, I didn't experience the games. Like, I didn't watch them. I just saw the scores progress through the innings.
Yeah, once again, in Game 2, they should have won. But they lost in a walk-off. And then Game 3, that once again should have won that one. Had a lot of opportunities, but didn't bring people in when they needed to. Stranded a lot of runners. And then you get to Game 4, and it started out kind of okay, and then it just got progressively worse and worse. And it was like, oh boy, are they collapsing now? I don't want this to happen. And then they pulled it around tonight. So we're still alive. Hey, there's still a chance.
That was the game 4. I was watching. I wasn't watching. I was following through the first couple innings, and then I stopped, and I think I went to bed. And then I woke up the next day, and I was like, check that. And I looked, and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. I was real pumped with that one.
Yeah, I bet.
I was out at a bar, but thank God I was like one of 2 people watching the game. Nobody else was really paying attention because it was a bunch of college kids. I'll tell you about that bar scene, man. I'm not about it.
It's been a while since I've been to one, so I don't even know what it's like.
Well, I mean, my normal bar scene. I don't know anybody. I'm in Boston, and even then, I find usually a smaller bar, population wise.
Yeah. Wait. So it was Thursday night then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were at Harp.
Yeah.
So it was probably hip hopping
after 10 o'clock or whatever, because it becomes a thing called like flip night. Apparently, flip night. You buy a drink. After that time, you buy a drink and then call heads or tails on a coin. The bartender flips. Heads, it's free. Tails, you pay. Whatever the deal is.
Oh, interesting.
So of course, here come all the broke college kids out to drink.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, I really don't care. I'll just pay, but fuck off. But yeah, bar scenes, things.
Bar scenes.
Baseball, other things. What have you been doing, though, the last 7 days?
Rather boring week, honestly.
I couldn't ever.
Well, like, even the things I have been doing, like, I haven't had a chance. I haven't played any KOTOR because most of my time has been occupied by like running around. So last night after work, we went to a travel agent.
Oh no.
Which I was not a fan of the idea. Naturally.
Trust me, I believe that. You don't need to convince me.
And after leaving, I feel like all of my fears have been confirmed. So that was great,
Yeah, I definitely did not see you saying any other word other than like confirmed or justified or.
Yeah. So I basically sat in silence the whole time we were there. And then we got home and Samantha's like, I'm going to make dinner. And I just went straight upstairs and was like, I'm taking a nap. So I haven't even talked to her about it or anything like that. So that'll be a fun weekend journey.
Well, you know where I live.
Yeah. Which basically is like, you're insane if you think we're spending that amount of money on a manufactured trip. But anyways,
you're supposed to be going with me to Boston.
So there was that, which was not cool. And then basically I've been rewatching an anime with Samantha that she hasn't seen, but I've seen before. The running one, Run with the Wind. And that's basically it. This weekend I have off, so I'm hoping to actually play stuff, play KOTOR.
If
Yeah.
for some reason I'm not busy playing WoW, we do have some stuff we need to play too. So Wolfenstein. And,
Oh yeah, we got to finish Wolfenstein. Didn't Chernobyl Light came out, didn't it?
early access.
Early access. I know it was like trending on Steam or something.
Yeah,
weird.
its early access page is live now.
All right, well, there's that. But yeah, that's about it. Haven't watched anything else. I'm not even caught up on my baseball anime. There's been a new episode, and every time I go to try to watch it, something interferes, and I have to I get literally 5 seconds in, and I gotta fucking
The worst.
yeah.
I mean,
In the thumbnail, they get you with the thumbnail because it's like a specific character. And it's his facial expression, and it's like, what the fuck's happening?
oh yeah, clearly one of those wait.
So
wait.
it's the catcher, and he's got a look of shock on his face, and I'm like,
Clickbait.
what? Exactly.
You're getting baited.
Got that BuzzFeed clickbait.
Yeah, you're getting jebaited. Well, jebaited is something else, but
I feel like I'm forgetting something, but that's I'm gonna stick with that. Outside of the Formula One news, which we talked about earlier, but
and we know nobody wants to listen to it.
no one cares about that.
But good news. So Formula One.
Formula One.
Nobody wants to hear it, so let's do a whole podcast on it.
Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. How about you?
I've been doing more
More.
than you. I mean, than usual isn't true. I think I've been doing less, probably.
It's probably a good thing.
I have been doing less, not by choice. Well, I guess kind of by choice, in a way. So, my competitive volleyball started up.
Yeah.
So my Monday nights are now basically gone.
Okay.
Which leaves me Tuesday to maybe play. And then Wednesday and Thursday are my rec volleyball nights. That I can skip those whenever if I really wanted to. But I like playing for the most part.
Yeah.
Friday night I do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have my weekend. So I'm down to 3 nights.
Yeah.
Unless I really wanted to. My problem is I during the week need to be forcing myself to go to sleep earlier just for my own sanity at work and the next day. As has been pointed out by myself and other people. So it's just a better overall experience, a better overall Nate experience if I get some sleep.
Yeah, I mean that's always true for everyone, not just you.
Yeah, but it manifests itself pretty good in me. Walking into back in the day, walking into a Target, and you're just like, I'm gonna it's 8 a.m. and I'm gonna kill somebody because I was raiding Destiny until 4 a.m. And if one more person doesn't understand to stand in the white circle, I'm gonna lose it. Hey, can you help me find a TV? Yeah,
Get in the white circle.
Go stand over there.
Now I've noticed with the sleep thing, I get good amount of sleep now. So I instead of being angry as soon as I walk in the door,
It's delayed a little.
it's delayed about 20 minutes.
Yeah. I give myself right up until the first problem hits, and when the first problem hits, I just expound it by 10 for the time that I've missed since walking in the door.
That's about right.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I'm like, okay, I'm here. It's been 3 hours. Nothing's gone wrong yet. Ring. Hey, so-and-so just broke. Fuck! Just the top of my lungs in my office. Not really, but in my head. There are many angry Nates just going, no!
Yeah.
And then I just quietly hang up the phone and begin my walk down to fix whatever I need to fix.
Go about the business.
And then once I get down there, I immediately ask the person, how the fuck did you break this? It was working fine. Anyway, back to what I've been doing. The World of Warcraft. 5 levels away.
Oh, getting close.
Yeah, probably 4.5 technically because I'm already halfway through 55. Todd is closer than I am. Todd will hit 60 before me, guaranteed.
Any update on content schedule?
Just that Dire Maul is now out now. And then I'm sure BlizzCon will have multiple problems with it, but also probably
We'll see if anything happens at BlizzCon.
Yeah, probably the next patch announcement will come out of there as well. Then played a little bit of the show today. I was in a baseball mood. So I was like, I'm going to play the show.
Yeah.
So
Why not?
I played for a few hours, did some moments, relived the wild card stuff and whatever. It was a fun time. And then what else did I do today or this week even? I played some more Borderlands. I'm officially 50 in Borderlands now. So as I said, that is on the back burner. It is now officially like back burnered. I did open up and create a second character just so I could get through the intro like section.
Yeah, prep.
Yeah. Just so I can use that character rather than my stacked character for like running around with evil or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's really it. I've hopped in and out of the Division. I went to the Pentagon and then realized I need more people while I'm here. This isn't a one-man thing.
Oh, that's episode 2, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, title update 6,
or...
episode 2 is now out. And I could do it alone probably, but I was just so rusty. And I was like, I'm only hopping in to test this while I do some other stuff.
Yeah.
I've played some FIFA. I've played some Magic the Gathering Arena.
That's a weird one.
I've always had it on the PC. I've talked about it before, I'm pretty sure. But whenever I'm feeling just like a bored card game while if I'm doing something else that I need to not pay a ton of attention to the game I'm doing, like if I'm watching a course or like anything like that, I'll have that open and I'll just make my turn and then kind of go back to what I'm doing. Just because I'm, I don't know, 73% positive that I have ADHD, so I have to be doing things. Even when I'm doing nothing, I'm doing something.
Maybe.
Why do you think I have basically 3 screens plus a phone, and then I bring in the Switch sometimes in handheld mode depending on what I'm doing? I'm a psychopath.
Well, those are 2 separate issues.
Might be a sociopath. Might not be a psychopath. It's definitely a sociopath. We used to play, when Todd and I would play WoW when I had the computer out in the studio, I'd play WoW and then I would turn around because my PlayStation would be on the Element TV behind me and I would start playing a game of FIFA while I was like waiting for stuff. And I would just pause FIFA and go back to playing WoW. Moment where there was a break in WoW, turn around and start playing FIFA again.
Yeah.
I was multitasking on the fly.
I mean, if that's what you're into, that's what floats your boat.
It is. That's what gets me distracted and gets me in a lot of trouble sometimes with Todd. We're doing stuff in WoW, and I'm just staring at my other monitor, not paying attention to WoW. He's like, we got to go over here and do this. Are you disconnected? I was like, oh, sorry. I was watching YouTube, reading Reddit, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be explaining a quest, and I'll just be reading something else entirely. And even though I hear him, I'm not listening.
You're not, yeah.
So I'm just like, yep, I heard everything you said, but I don't know what a word of it meant because there was this article about
I do that to
the
Samantha.
extinction of bees, and I just kept getting distracted.
Do that to her constantly. And also I'd be like, I didn't hear any of that. And then she'll just like, immediately it's anger. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I was reading this captivating article about
Todd gives me the good old
how they discovered the lost city in Cambodia from the Khmer Empire.
Yeah, it's all that stuff. And then I just hear out of the other end, just come over here.
Mouthy cat.
Mouthy cat watch the window that he's going to be in for all of about 5 minutes.
He's going to be like, it's cold out there.
Get up there.
I don't know about this.
Come on, you bitch. Come on.
Jump?
You know what? Fucking.
That's what he wanted. The whole time. He's just like,
sometimes,
lift me up.
Sometimes he's just real, bitchy.
Needy.
Yeah, same thing. same, so yeah, been doing that. But that's the stuff I've been playing. Been playing some stuff on the phone. Just random things.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to talk about one thing I've been playing on the phone, because it's Call of Duty.
Oh, sticking with the mobile.
Call of Duty Mobile, once again, I'm still good. But that's not what I'm here to discuss. I'm here to discuss for the first time, I've lost.
Oh, wow.
Now, mind you, I was really good, but we lost.
Okay.
It was a team deathmatch match. I think there's 5 people on each team. I don't remember what the lobby sizes they run with. But all of my team, except for 2 people that weren't me, quit. So I was like, great. It's me and these other 2. I finished the game with 17 kills. I don't think they had over 3.
They quit like beginning of the game or
Yeah. Like we were in a little bit, and I don't know how long it was, and then they all quit out. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? I guess I just keep shooting. I don't know.
I can see that happening a lot on mobile. Yeah, you just close the app like, fuck. My food is ready.
Right, but I'm like, listen, you use the microwave, just put it in for another 10 seconds when the match is done. What do you, like, not even 5 minutes. Cats, man.
I don't know.
Can't live without them. Anyway, so I was doing that, and I was playing. I have more kills than anybody else in the game. Yada, yada. So I'm like, okay, I'm not worried about my, like, individual ability still, but I was watching some of the kill cams when I would die and stuff, and it just looks like, and I don't know if it's right, I don't know if I'm on just, like, assumption, my tinfoil hats, it looked like somebody could have potentially synced a controller to their phone and was playing mobile with a controller.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Instead of touch controls, which is what I've been using the entire time.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what if I just put a controller in my phone? I'd fucking dominate.
Did you try it?
I haven't yet. Because I haven't, the spare PS4 controller that I have downstairs that I'm going to use for remoting from up here too. It's going to be the one that I'm going to use for all that, but I just haven't bothered to sit down and spend the 30 minutes that I would need to hook all of it up.
Your Xbox controller's not wireless, is it?
No, they are. But remember, it takes if I'm going into my PC, it takes the wireless dongle.
Yeah, but the newer, if it's the
white one's the second gen.
Yeah, that one has Bluetooth built into it.
Okay, so I could probably do that one.
Yeah.
But then I don't have, I have Bluetooth, I think, on my PC. I think it's on my motherboard. But for some reason it's still, because I was trying to do it before. Whatever. Either way.
I know that the Xbox controllers, they're
notoriously weird.
Notoriously difficult to get them into a Bluetooth pairing mode.
Yeah, which is why I just plug it in.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't have the rechargeable batteries, so it just saves me on never having batteries in it.
Yeah.
But the PS4 one's just a micro USB cable, so I can easily just bring that spare one up that I'm never using for anything anyway, and just have it up here for phone / PC remote play when Todd really gets pissed at me because I'm playing MLB The Show on my other monitor. Yes, home run. What? Killing imps? No, I'm in the playoffs, man. I got things I got to do. Priorities. I have none. So yeah, that was just an interesting thing because it was just like the way they were moving and stuff and how fast and how crisp everything was in their hands. I was like, they either clearly play a lot of this or they're using a controller.
So are the controls like the generic like thumb spots on the joystick?
You'd have there's two there's one joystick and then that controls your movement. And then on the right side, your thumb, you can just swipe the screen and that would control where you're looking. And then there's a fire button, and I have mine set to aim down sight and fire all at the same time. And so that's what I swipe around to move my stuff. And then once I'm holding that button down, I can move my thumb still to continually move my aim.
Yeah.
But it's just two, touch areas essentially.
Yeah.
But these guys were just really fluid with it.
Yeah. I know there's these devices that you can.
Yes. I am aware of those ones as well. So I'm not sure if it is potentially that, or I know you can also, at one point, you could get suction cup thumbsticks and put those on.
Yeah.
But I just think it was a controller because it was so unbelievably crisp. How just everything was fluid. There wasn't a second of pausing and then.
Yeah.
And even for, I'm only level 8. I think this guy might have been, level 51 or something. So clearly has played way more than I have. I think I'm only level 8 or 9. So there's a chance he just has gotten so used to it.
That's just what maybe. Most likely it's controller.
Yeah. And then I'm like, man, if I put a controller, I might ruin people. Because they're playing on phones. And then what if I put a controller on and I played Fortnite on my phone? What if I just dominated with a controller? And it goes back to the whole thing where you can put the adapter for certain controllers into the Switch.
Yeah.
And it's I can just use my Xbox controller, which is better than the Pro controller. And dominate on the Switch. except not Fortnite. I don't know how people control or build. Like, I can do it at a very, very base level on the PC. I get to a controller and I just stare at it. I don't know what to do anymore. Just like, I don't. What do my hands do with twin stick shooters?
I picked up a controller. I played The Last of Us Remastered last weekend when Samantha's dad was home.
Yep.
And it's the first time I've used a PlayStation controller in a very long time.
For gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was fucking terrible. And we're talking about The Last of Us. Like,
yeah.
It was on normal, nothing crazy. And like, I was struggling. I was like, what is going on? And then I was like trying to shoot stuff, like shoot the fucking clickers and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was horribly missing. And I was like, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because like everyone was watching me because we were all like, it's been a while since I played on. Actually, I didn't even say anything. Like, I was like, this is terrible. And Samantha said something. She's like, yeah, you don't play on PS4 anymore. You're so used to PC. And I was like, yeah, it's that bad.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it is. It is very much that bad. It's the old, I haven't done it in a while, but we used to, have like a Halo party or something after I switched to years of PC shooting. And I'd go hang out. And I'm like, this is going to take me like 5 rounds to finally just kind of get back to being able to go even.
yeah.
Like, I know the rest of you just aren't good shooter players anyway, but it's going to take me at least 5 rounds to get to a point where I'm like, okay, I can kind of remember what I'm doing here and then actually go back to being able to do things.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun times. And then it's been watching sports, fantasy football.
Sports.
Basketball starts next week. It's a good time. I feel like there was something I'm like really forgetting, but I'm whatever.
I felt the same way, but oh well. I guess we can always come back to it if we have to.
Anyway, you got a better intro this week. Better segue to move us on.
Do I have one?
I don't know. I was told that the turkey thing was funny, but
Turkey thing.
yeah, apparently last episode I went or whatever. I don't know.
I don't remember.
See, this every time here's the feedback I get from episodes, right? From our many thousands of fans across the globe.
Yeah,
That
thousands.
oh yeah.
We are legion.
Thousands, maybe millions, if we're being honest. We reach every corner of this globe, Matt. We have listeners in China. All right?
Yeah, the Chinese government.
Yeah, they still count. They're still a download. I'm not saying I agree with them listening to me, but it's a download.
Hong Kong forever.
Yeah. And we are now no longer being available in China. We got them in Japan. We got them in South America. We got them all over Europe. We got a lot of people listening, Matt. So it's rude to think that it's only 3 people that I personally know. All right? But what I'm saying is when I get the feedback, they'll tell me like, oh, it was really funny when you did like this or said this or when you and Matt had this interaction and he was getting like really fired up or whatever. And I'm like, I don't remember what I said after I hit post.
Yeah, I have that issue as well. Sometimes I can't remember what we talked, like what news stuff we talked about in previous episodes.
Well, at least that we can look back and literally think.
Yeah, I know.
But when it comes to like the personal anecdote part of it on top of like the story or whatever, or like when I start doing random rants of me playing 6 characters in a fucking sweatshop moments, I don't know what I said after I get done because I feel like after the episode I just kind of black out for an hour and then I remember to hit post and then I don't hear it because I don't listen back to it. And then Monday somebody gets to like their lunch break and goes, holy shit, and says like one word to me. And I'm like,
I don't know what that means.
That's super out of context for our conversation right now. I have no idea what banana pudding means. We were talking about shoes. Why did you say banana pudding? Oh, well, you had a really funny moment in the podcast about banana pudding. And I'm like, what did I say? I don't remember what I said.
I think the issue is that like when we're doing the podcast, it's like the same thing for us as like chit chatting.
Right.
So like I don't remember, you don't remember casual conversations we have with people.
No. I mean, Unless there's a moment that happened during that conversation where I was like, yeah, I was telling you about this, and then that guy just shot that dog, and I'm like that would be a memorable thing, and I'd remember that as the trigger for that moment.
Yeah.
But without somebody doing some horrific thing over here, I won't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if somebody walks in and does a horrific thing, that's the last of the podcast. You're probably going to hear anymore. Yeah, there's just like, it's the mix of that, and this isn't a stand-up routine. Like, we joke and do news and stuff like that, but it's not a stand-up routine where we have this, like, okay, I've said this thing. Now I know where I'm continuing to kind of go in the conversation.
Yeah.
It's improv, but of the, like, worst kind.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Whose Line Is It Anyway, where they're playing, like, a game or anything.
Like, where we're purposefully improv.
Yeah, no, we're just having a conversation, and I'm an extremist in the sense that I will take anything and push it another level, and then if Matt answers me with another level higher, I'll go above him one more, and then eventually I'm alone because he stopped going there about 6 levels ago, and I just kept trying to one-up myself in the story, and now nobody's listening to what I'm saying, and I'm only talking to one person maybe.
Okay.
That being said, I'm going to talk to you.
I don't know. That's all. That's all I got. I don't know.
Oh God. That being said, we're gonna move on to games that I could play right now if I was 60 and WoW.
Or if you didn't play so much volleyball.
Yeah,
or if he had more free time or didn't have a job. I mean,
if I didn't have a job and was a streamer, this list would never exist.
That's true.
Or it'd be a lot smaller.
Yeah.
So, if you don't have a job, here's some stuff you can play. I don't know how you're going to pay for it. Don't ask me. That's not my problem. Number 1, Baldur's Gate. And I think Baldur's Gate 2 for PlayStation, Switch, and Xbox. Billy Bomber for the Switch. Children of Morta for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Disco Elysium for PC. I don't know why, but I like that name.
Has a good connotation.
I get a good visual.
Yeah.
Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Outer Wilds makes its way to the PS4. Outer Wilds, darling game, I believe from the people at Annapurna Interactive, they're the publisher of this game. I think you're going to see it in some Game Award stuff this year.
But I mean, there's been a lot of talk about it.
Hot take.
Prior to its release. So.
Well, it was out on PC before, too.
Okay.
This is the coming to PS4 thing, and that's why I put it on here, because if you don't have a PC, you only have a PS4, you should know. You should play.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. But at the same thing I'm saying, super hot take that, has been said by everybody else already. You're going to see it in Game of the Year. Not in Game of the Year category, but Game of the Year conversations. It will definitely be a part of it. It'll be
award conversation.
It'll be visible in award season. The game that will be in the Game of the Year conversation, though, Matt, is the next one. The Fisherman Fishing Planet for the PlayStation and Xbox.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot take, and I'm going to be the only one fighting for that. Tune in to the Gamers 2 Game of the Year episode in December when Nate is the only one championing the Fisherman Fishing Planet. I will have perfected it on PlayStation. That is a joke. No, I fucking will not. Number 8, Witcher 3 for the Switch. Wands for PlayStation. Warzone VR for PlayStation. Little Town Hero for the Switch. That's the one from the, I believe, Game Freak.
Yeah.
The ones that used to do Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Doors and Rooms for PlayStation. Driven Out for PlayStation, Xbox. Felix the Reaper for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Switch. Potentially my favorite game on the list. Felix the Reaper.
I know nothing about it.
I think you do if I showed you the trailer. It's that big, like, blob. And he has to, whatever.
Okay.
I'll show you later. I'll mark that as a show mat later. Felix the Reaper, though, in this list, I believe, is going to win Nate's Favorite of the Week award. Jackbox Party Pack number 6 for the PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Switch. Matt's favorite game on this list. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth for the Switch.
I mean, I like that name, but my favorite's probably going to be further down.
Okay. Were you a Digimon kid?
Um,
For some reason, I associate, just so you know, I associate Transformers and Digimon kids as the same. And I don't know why.
that's weird. I mean, I wasn't really a Transformers kid.
It might be because it's the same. Oh, true. You were Gundam, which isn't Transformers. My bad.
Yeah.
But the.
Heresy.
I know.
Relating the two. Oh my god.
It's the. I don't know if it's just like the similar art styles. Like the both,
Maybe.
both
I mean,
bright cities and yada,
yeah.
yada, yada. Where Pokemon's like, we're in the wilderness. Digimon's like, I got digital monsters, man. I evolved my orange, whatever the one was. It's the only one I ever remember seeing. It was an orange thing. Anyway.
Digimon to me was always like a knockoff Pokemon, so I never looked too deep into it, so I don't know.
I mean, that's what it was, as far as I'm concerned. Besides, we all know the true card game is Yu-Gi-Oh! You must believe in the heart of the cards, Yugi. Number 17, Manifold Garden for the PC and Apple Arcade. That is mostly on here because it is officially the first Apple Arcade shout-out on Gamers 2.
Possibly the only.
Maybe. So far it is. We'll see. Pig Eat Ball for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Return of the Obra Dinn for PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Ring Fit Adventure for the Switch. So you want to get your sweet ring. That nice
That's
little
the one.
hoop. That's the one that's your
That's
favorite
the
one?
one.
I like it. I like that you picked the one you don't have the console to play.
$80 hairs for that sucker.
Hey, man, you get yourself a sweet resistance band and some Switch controllers, and you can go...
People are buying them.
You can go fight the bro dragon.
People are buying them. I don't get it.
Bro, you see me spit fire, bro? Which way is the beach? That way. I'm not going that way because that's got water, and I'm a dragon. Number 22, and the last one, is Tokyo Warfare Turbo for the PC.
That's one of those games where they just throw, like, all right, we need some cool words to put together.
Well, they couldn't put Hong Kong Warfare. It's just too
Hong
real.
Kong Warfare Turbo.
Play as a VR soldier in Hong Kong.
VR police.
VR troopers. We are. I'm doing my part. Anyway. Oh, God, get me out of this topic, even though we're about to get right into it. So, go for the headlines, Matt.
News for the week.
News.
We'll just get the Blizzard sadness out of the way for the week.
Should I hold on? Let me find some. It's gonna take me. It's gonna. Well, I was gonna say it's gonna take me way too long to find a sad trombone line, but that's basically it.
First up, Blizzard has suspended 3 college Hearthstone players for 6 months after they held up a sign that read "Free Hong Kong, Boycott Blizz," while participating in an official competition stream. The ban, which was first reported by Vice Games, comes just over a week after Blizzard suspended a professional Hearthstone player, Blitz Chung.
So funny,
which we talked about last week. What's up?
Yeah, we talked about. Are these the 3 kids that we?
I believe it is.
Okay, so they were called out. They called them out for hypocrisy for not banning them. But then the reason they gave the ban to Blitz Chung was saying that during the interview they wanted to keep it focused to the game. These guys didn't do it during an interview and then banned it. So Blizzard, your fucking colors are showing, and it looks like they're red and yellow. You fucks. Do you guys like honey?
Jesus, I appreciate the.
We're already
LeBron.
off. We're already off air in China.
I really appreciate all the LeBron where
they
give him the hair and put him in the.
Did you see the one of them next to each other?
I've seen a bunch of them next to each other. Where
it said something about Comrade LeBron, we need to go to the fucking bee's nest or whatever, and I was just like, Jesus, people they're going deep, and I'm like.
Yeah. With Blizzard arriving, we got 3 of these, by the way, 3. So with Blizzard arriving on Nintendo Switch this week, developer Blizzard
No. Read back what you just said.
with Overwatch arriving on Nintendo Switch this
I'm
week.
pretty sure you said with Blizzard arriving on.
Oh, my bad. Developer Blizzard Entertainment has canceled its New York launch event at Nintendo World. Blizzard originally planned a live meet and greet with some of the game's voice actors, but canceled the event with only a day's notice, offering no explanation. Not that we needed one.
We don't need an explanation. We're pretty aware of what's going on, and also funny because Nintendo said, hey, by the way, this isn't happening. Blizzard canceled it.
Yeah.
Nintendo's just throwing Blizzard straight under the bus.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Blizzard laid down underneath the bus, and Nintendo just drove the thing over them, which is pretty entertaining. But then also, Nintendo has been doing refunds on Overwatch on the Switch for people that pre-ordered or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they don't normally do digital refunds or whatever. But it came back from one of the customer service reps or whatever, according to a story on Reddit I saw, that this is a special circumstance.
Good. I mean, that's really Nintendo's best option. Like, don't get in the way on this one. Just let it happen.
It's very much by all means. If you want to fuck them over, go ahead.
Yeah.
We're good with it. You guys hear about Mario? I feel like at a certain point, Nintendo almost wanted to. Somebody at Nintendo was like, all right, so if they try to refund Overwatch, give them a pre-order for Animal Crossing instead. Just like move them that direction.
Yeah. Or like,
have you heard about our Lord and Savior Tom Nook? Get out.
Jesus. So continuing in the same vein, U.S. lawmakers are getting in on the Blizzard action. On Friday, which is today, U.S. Senators Ron Wyden and Marco Rubio and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Mike Gallagher, and that's weird, and Tom Malinowski.
That is really weird.
Wrote a letter to Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick asking the company to reverse course. Here's a small section of the letter. Quote, your company claims to stand by one's right to express individual thoughts and opinions, yet many of your own employees believe that Activision Blizzard's decision to punish Mr. Chung runs counter to those values. Because your company is such a pillar of the gaming industry, your disappointing decision could have a chilling effect on gamers who seek to use their platform to promote human rights and basic freedoms, end quote. It finishes with, quote, we urge you in the strongest terms to reconsider your decision with respect to Mr. Chung. You have the opportunity to reverse course. We urge you to take it, end quote.
Sorry if you heard that. Yeah.
Interesting.
I did read through the entire letter while we were watching the game. And it was an interesting, just like, okay. All right.
I mean, it's the whole thing's a little weird, but
yeah, I mean, the letter just is like, you guys should have known what you were doing. Like, fucking do it right, please. Don't just sit here and lie when we're all staring at you.
Yeah.
But the letter's just a strongly worded suggestion, really.
Yeah, and it's interesting objectively that you have a lot of politicians focusing so much on the gaming industry recently.
Yeah, well, it's because it's being blamed for everything else at the same time.
Yeah. It's like the combination of that and like this. Like, I mean, there's some younger lawmakers who know better and they're still,
or at least know who to listen to better.
Yeah. Or like know. Yeah.
So are you telling me that this phone right here, sir, that's an iPhone and I don't work for them?
Our company doesn't make that phone.
Old people. All right, number 2. Anything else you want to say on Blizzard? I'm pretty sure I expounded my anger in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just
or at least for people's ears.
I'm just an innocent bystander who's watching the train wreck in progress. So
everybody stares at train wrecks.
Waiting for that BlizzCon. Looking forward to it.
Oh, it is gonna be spicy.
Got the stock on popcorn in the closet. Get
your popcorn.
Getting ready.
It's gonna be a moment, a great moment. Number 2, today at its 10th anniversary celebration. Today is not today, by the way. This happened previously this week.
It did.
At its 10th anniversary celebration, developer Riot Games revealed a surprisingly large slate of new games and other experiences, all set in the League of Legends universe. Here's the sauce boss. Nothing on Sauce Boss? Man, you're disappointing me. All right, fine.
My bad.
Moving on. Riot previously revealed that it was working on a fighting game, and now the company officially unveiled Project L, a 2D fighter featuring League characters. The game is still in early stage development, according to Riot, and there's no word on when we'll hear more. For years, this is going to be there's like 7 bullets here, people, so just bear with me. For years, Riot has been releasing animated shorts and music videos, and now the company is expanding on that with a full animated series set in League. It's called Arcane. It is being produced in-house and will be available next year. Here is a brief plot synopsis. Quote, set in a utopian Piltover and the oppressed underground of Zaun, the story follows the origins of 2 iconic League champions and the power that will tear them apart.
I don't know what any of that means.
Zaun is a place. Piltover is a place. League champions are 2 characters from the game. And then power is the strength that they just have. And it's going to tear them apart from each other.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was looking for.
my bad. Here, I'll try again.
No, that was good.
Okay.
No, it's fine.
I'm pretty sure I explained it pretty well. My own words and everything. Next one. Legends of, and I'm not sure how this word is pronounced.
I'm going to go with Runeterra.
Okay, so Legends of Runeterra. I once again ignore that reality, and I pronounce it this way from now on. Legends of Runeterra.
All right. Cool.
That is how I'm doing it.
All right.
A free-to-play collectible card game and coming to both PC and mobile next year. Riot says that players will be able to directly purchase any card with either earned or paid currency. Interesting. They want to get in on that card game money that we saw everything fizzle out of 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also interesting. People have already been playing it.
Yeah.
I think like betas are out now and stuff.
Yeah, there was some... There was a fair amount of detail on all this stuff, but it was like just too
there was a ton out of it, so I don't blame you.
There's stuff I even left off this list, like
all right then,
like goofy stuff. Like there's a fucking League of Legends Origins documentary coming out on Netflix apparently.
That one, depending, could be like kind of interesting. It depends on what they're actually covering in it, but that's
whatever.
Yeah. Teamfight Tactics launched a few months back, and the Auto Battler, also known as Auto Chess, has become one of the most popular game modes within League of Legends, which is actually kind of funny. Now it's getting a standalone version on mobile devices called Teamfight Tactics Mobile and Rise of the Elements. What?
It's all one.
Oh, that's one title?
Yep.
Teamfight Tactics Mobile and Rise of the Elements.
Yeah.
Rito, please. It'll be launching early next year. Riot also says that on both PC and mobile, Teamfight will have a new structure that cycles through new sets of champions and abilities every 3 to 4 months. Okay, so you have like seasons to try to keep it fresh. I understand that. Now the game that Matt is sure that I'm going to play, we get to League of Legends Esports Manager, and it's exactly what it sounds like. A game where you first off, anybody, before I tell you what it sounds like, and you already know what it is, I'm going to give you about 10 seconds while I talk about some other stuff. League of Legends Esports Manager is exactly what it sounds like. Think about whatever that means to you. Matt, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, you good?
Having a good time over here.
I'm sure. There's a lot to do this week. I mean, there's a lot of hearty news. All right, so now that you got that idea, here's what it sounds like. A game where you manage a pro League of Legends team. The game will launch with support for the Chinese LPL next year, and eventually it'll support other regional leagues as well. Interestingly, revenue from the game will be shared with the real-world pro teams featured within it. No, I'm not playing it. I play Football Manager, and I pay way too much of that to do any other managing. I am already...
Managed out?
No, not managed out. I am already the manager of one thing. I can only manage so many things. There's a lot of things on my plate I need to manage. What if my 18-year-old wonder could from South America all of a sudden is homesick and wants to get transferred back to South America. I need to give him more money and lock him in England. Welcome to Football Manager problems.
I just don't understand how you can make a manager game out of esports, but that's just...
I'm assuming they are going to basically combine like a owner and coach role together. So you are owning the organization, and you're also the coach to just find the best players mixed to like whatever style they want to put you in. And then you have to have like conversations with your players about doing all this stuff. I'm sure you're also the one handling like sponsorship deals and stuff like that, where it's not just that. It's you like owning the organization. I would assume, because otherwise, yes, there would not be much there for other things. And I hope they didn't do this, but who knows? Because they're basing it on real world teams or whatever, maybe they would have live movie interactions like.
That'd be terrible. But
like good old FMVs.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be funny. Riot also teased yet another game codenamed Project F. And if you're curious about how their projects go, just have letters and numbers after it. Project F, which is described as a very early development project that explores the possibilities of traversing the world of Runeterra with your friends.
I feel like half of these don't count because they're just They're Project A, Project F, Project L. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If it doesn't have a name, how fucking close can you be?
Not very close. And what I read in that one is, hey, did you guys want that mobile AR app?
Yeah. They're like, is there any interest in this? Let us know.
Yeah. Project F, we had this idea on a bulletin board and figured we'd tell you about it now. Somebody check the Google Trends on Project F. League of Legends Wild Rift, a built-from-scratch MOBA for mobile.
MOBA for mobile.
And built for scratch is real iffy. Listen, I'm not playing MOBAs on mobile, but we'll move on. And Project A character-based tactical shooter for PC, temporarily codenamed Project A, set on a near-future Earth. Looks like multiple things, but it doesn't look good.
I saw one screenshot of it, and I was like, that looks like terrible.
There's like a 30-second or so clip, I think, somewhere. And I was like, this better be like pre-alpha, like not even alpha build.
I saw like a screenshot of someone holding a first-person view with a rifle, and it reminded me of Halo 1 with the auto rifle.
Yes, so it's that, except that the gun doesn't even have animations when it shoots. Like it was so pre-alpha'd where I'm like, okay, so you guys put a character in with a gun, didn't model anything, didn't texture anything, and went bullets come out of it.
It's a shooter.
And I was like, oh boy. But we'll see. We'll see. And once again, I think they sound, by some of these ideas, they sound 5 years behind.
Yeah, which is funny because the whole point, like the big thing that everyone's pushing is the fact that like Riot has been a one game company for so long. And now, like, the big thing is, they have all these projects coming out. Like, okay,
but
none of them are even remotely close to being done.
Right,
like,
and all the projects are 5 years too late.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest thing, and the only thing out of this that I probably will play is Teamfight Tactics on mobile. Because I played auto chesses on mobile before, and I'm just curious to do it with a League one where I actually, like, know the characters. So that'll be interesting. Oh, that's the other thing. I've been watching, now that we're on Riot, I've been watching League of Legends Worlds.
Yeah.
Just for fun. I don't play League anymore. I never will again, God willing. But I still enjoy watching like pros play and stuff.
It's funny.
Yeah, it is.
I'll never play again, God willing.
Unless I'm getting paid to play, I'm not touching that game again. But Kenny was in an ARAM the other day, which is an all random, all middle. It's a mode in League.
Yeah.
And then I logged in Discord and I saw him in League, and I was just like, oh, you are taking a piece of that devil's fruit, my friend. Don't you do it. It's way worse than an apple in a garden. That's all I'm saying. Women, man, they just couldn't ruin fucking all of eternity. I'm good. I don't need to go into
maybe
it
like that's what you guys should like play it again and like stream it or something, because
him and I,
like, it might be fun to watch the
I'm sure it'd be fun to watch, but my tolerance for myself and him would not go well.
That's what would make it fun to watch.
We'd get like 3 games through and be like, that's it. Something else now. You see us go back to Football Manager, and we'd be like, all right. Then the screen would be nothing because it wouldn't make any sense to you. And we'd just be like, all right, so if I play a 4-2-2 and one of them's a Mazzala, I really need to get some better positioning. But then do I run with 2 deep lying playmakers?
Do people stream Football Manager? I mean, I'm sure
know.
there are people.
I'm sure there's people that do, especially on like launch night. I'm sure there's people that do.
All right,
I'll stream it for you if you want to watch.
I mean, I don't know.
If you want to watch a whole lot of fucking nothing happen for a while.
I'm just curious. Like,
because
seems like a weird thing to stream, you know?
The thing with Football Manager, too, though, is there's the people that, once again, min-max.
Yeah.
And they're really getting the things out of it. And I'm just like, I just got to find something that works. And then once I find the thing that works, I just buy and put those people in. And I go, okay, you guys do that. And then once that breaks, that's when I have the problem of going, the fuck do I do now?
Like, how do I fix
And then I just have to try to like figure something else out. There's nothing worse than when I have a tactic that's worked half the season, all of a sudden it breaks. And I'm like, I didn't change anything. What went wrong? And then I have to scramble to like try to figure something else out or just give it a couple of games and hope it comes back. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Meanwhile, Kenny's changing his tactic every single game. He's like, oh, what if I do this or do this or do this? And I'm like, no, we play one style of football only. My humps by the Black Eyed Peas.
Complications over here.
Listen, that's why we're not the manager of the same club. We're not a 2-headed manager because nothing would ever get decided. It'd be the worst. You imagine? Never mind.
I can't because I don't even have a basis for reality.
What is this reality? You don't have crab people?
All right. Activision has finally announced how it'll be running the in-game economy for the upcoming shooter, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
We take your money and it disappear.
Exactly.
Next story.
Specifically, Modern Warfare will be the first Call of Duty game to use a Battle Pass system instead of random loot boxes to dispense content and cosmetics to players. Popularized by Fortnite, the Battle Pass system allows for players to buy the pass at the beginning of the season and unlock a variety of items as they progress. Activision also promises in its post that, quote, all functional content that has an impact on game balance, such as base weapons and attachments, can be unlocked simply by playing the game, end quote.
They say that.
Now. We shall see.
Listen, we gave you the battle pass, so that way this. But, like, we did put a gun in the battle pass that you would unlock by playing if you bought the battle pass. You scummy fucks.
Like Fortnite's pass, there will be both free and premium content included in each season's battle pass. So even if you don't own the pass, you'll still unlock things as you play. Players will also be able to earn COD points, which is premium currency in Call of Duty.
Not COD pieces?
I don't know. It just says COD points. I mean, it could be pieces. Is it pieces? COD pieces?
That's what I was hoping it was.
Okay.
I wish they would be bold enough to make that call. Once you have enough COD pieces, it forms a COD crate.
In addition,
COD box.
COD box. In addition to the Battle Pass, there will also be an in-game store selling cosmetic content that players will be able to purchase directly. All that being said, Activision won't actually be launching the Battle Pass alongside the game on October 25th. The company says that it wants to focus on the initial launch at that time, as well as give players a chance to unlock the existing content that the base game ships with before dumping another batch of new stuff on top of that.
So 2 weeks.
The Battle Pass will launch, quote, later this year with no other details given.
Yeah, mid-November.
You think?
Mid-November, or they try to pull something like Game Awards drop night, where right after the Game Awards, the Battle Pass is out. No.
I'm suspecting 2 weeks because I'm sure they're going to see how long it takes for people to.
My guess is just 2 weeks because 2 weeks would put you roughly around the time of like Pokemon and everything else.
Yeah.
Football Manager, obviously a big pull away from Activision's Call of Duty crowd is Football Manager. So what other better way to try?
Yeah, exactly. No. I think they're just gonna watch to see how people are progressing and try to hit a point when they think they can maximize money because they don't want it to. they're going to want to keep players in. So like they're going to want just enough, to get to the end of the progress and then drop it. So that they're like, oh, there's more.
Essentially, you want them to get to the end, then give them a 2 to 3 day break roughly of when the average person finishes your normal progression. You want to give that player 2 to 3 days at minimum, a week at most, of nothing new, and then go, you guys want some of this cocaine?
Cocaine. Cocaine.
I do cocaine. So, funny thing about battle passes, and yes, they were popularized by Fortnite and yada yada yada. Magic the Gathering Arena has one, and I looked at it earlier this morning because I was playing some Magic. Yes. I was like, oh yeah, they got a battle pass. I wonder how much that costs. Their battle pass, and that doesn't say in this one what their battle pass costs. Most battle passes, by the way, $10. $10 for I think it's usually around 3 months or more is your it's $10 for the 3 months of that battle pass, and then there's usually a new one after that.
Mm-hmm.
Their battle pass for Magic costs $20, and I went, no, I'm not giving you $20.
Wow,
you have a great free game, and I would have given you $10, but I will not give you $20.
That's bold,
my good man. You shall not receive my $20.
Why is that so? That's expensive.
It really is.
Holy shit. Get out of here with that.
Yeah. I mean, it might be worth it. If I was if I was a Magic streamer and I really knew what I was looking at and I could really determine value out of that, and I was like, man, I should just do that. If I could do that and actually know what each of the things would technically be worth, kind of, they quote themselves as saying a battle pass is worth, if you go all the way down to whatever level 100 or whatever, it's roughly $200 worth of things in there, because they give you packs and stuff too. So I think they're counting the price of a pack and stuff. There's packs and avatars and yada yada, and they're kind of doing that. And I'm like, okay, but is that $200 worth of stuff that I care about? And that's the part where it's if I was playing that game constantly or something, right? I bought 2 battle passes, I think, in Fortnite. I bought one, and then the way it worked in Fortnite at the time is you could buy one, and then if you got so far in it, you got enough in-game currency that you could just roll the in-game currency into the new battle pass. So as long as you were playing enough, you technically never had to pay more than the first time you paid.
Yeah.
Because you could just earn enough in-game and then just roll the in-game currency into the new battle pass. And I think I had 2 battle passes, and it was when Todd and I were going super hard in the game. And then I was just like, all right, cool, I'm not doing it again. But if I was, like I said, if I was playing a game that much or whatever, yeah, I'd probably do it. But I'm much more likely to do it in Fortnite or Magic or something like that, where it was a free-to-play game and then had a costly battle pass.
Yeah.
Not a $60 Call of Duty and then also had a battle pass.
I don't know.
All right, then.
I don't know. I
mean,
got
battle
lost.
Passes aren't for you.
Yeah, they're not. I got lost.
Magic would be closer to you because it's a you versus the one person card experience. But
I got lost in the train of thought of I can't imagine playing that type of game
that much. That when we came out.
Yes.
I said words. Yeah, when we came on, God, was it 2 years ago maybe? Or last year? Whatever it was in that March window. And every week I'm like, I'm playing Fortnite. And I'm playing Fortnite. And I'm playing Fortnite. By the way, I'm still playing Fortnite. It was just yes, that happens with Football Manager and stuff, but there is no... That's a little different. Because that's just a very... Except for really big games, that's just a very your heart rate's normal experience.
Yeah.
Fortnite, my heart rate would definitely be dun, 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 just towards the end of the games. I'm just
yeah.
And then I would die and it would just, but you know how games go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the battle passes are definitely, I'm a fan of battle passes because I think they do, like I said, I'm a fan of them for free games. Because I think it's a really good way to get money out of your community without being crazy about it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. It's just
it's this one where I'm you're already asking $60 on a game. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if you're gonna do a battle pass stuff, why not put a $40 price tag on your game?
Yeah, that's Fortnite and the Battle Pass make perfect sense, and it's not insulting. It's whereas this can be because of that reason.
Right. If you were to drop it down, I think to $40. I'm not even saying to cut your price in half. I'm saying to go to 40 and then do a Battle Pass on top of that. Not that one, Call of Duty never has a problem selling, but two, you would be looking like a really good guy in this.
Yeah.
It would, I don't know.
Or like break up the components, $40 for the campaign or free to play Battle Royale and
stuff like that. There's definitely possibilities for it all, but I don't work for Activision. It's also, are we going to talk about Fortnite?
Chapter 2?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so at the end of this, we'll talk a little bit about Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also talk about, did you see the stuff about NBA 2K20 and the NBA series, or like franchise itself?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about that at the end too.
Okay.
You might need to make the note of that, but just remind me. I do want to talk about both of those. Moving on to number 4, though, Paradox has pulled its new mobile game, Stellaris Galaxy Command, on launch day in order to perform a full content sweep for misappropriated assets. The move comes after it was revealed the mobile adaptation of Paradox's successful Galaxy Conquest sim featured stolen artwork from the Halo series. Quote, "This was a clear mistake on our part, and we are working to fix it as quickly as we can," end quote, said the Galaxy Command team in a statement on Twitter. First spotted by a Reddit user, the artwork is almost immediately recognizable from Halo, including several iconic vehicles from the long-running series and some slapdash airbrushing. While published by Paradox, the development was outsourced to Hong Kong-based developer GameBear, the maker of mobile strategy game Nova Empire, which appears to be heavily inspired by Stellaris. All these mobile people and stealing assets, man.
I know.
Bethesda out here smacking people down. Microsoft about to lay the smackdown.
It's kind of crazy.
Once again, it's crazy, but it's also not like shocking. It's the mobile people have the same problem that Steam had, and still does. You can just create and then put anything on there, and there is no like checks and balances until one of your users goes, "Fucking excuse me."
And the other thing, specifically with mobile games, like you see, because mobile games are outsourced to China usually, IP theft in China is like redonkulous.
Yeah, but they don't know what IP theft is.
That's exactly.
Yeah, you say IP theft, and they go, "You what?"
They're like, "Someone owns this."
I own it.
It was given to us by our government.
The great poo has lended me the... We gotta stop just doing that.
I mean, I don't mind. Speaking of Halo.
Okay.
Halo Infinite lead producer Mary Olson is departing 343 Industries for Midwinter Entertainment, where she will take on the role of head of production. The information comes via Olsen's LinkedIn page. Her departure from 343 comes after over 7 years with the studio and less than 2 months after being named executive producer for Halo Infinite upon the departure of former creative director Tim Longo. In response to concerns expressed on the Halo subreddit that Olsen's departure was a sign of larger problems at 343, community manager John, I'm not going to try to pronounce his handle or his last name.
Unishek?
That sounds good. Unishek and
Junziak?
Junzek issued a statement to reassure...
Junziak? I don't know.
What? Who knows?
You're welcome, sir.
Issued a statement to reassure that there was, quote, no creative dilemma inside the studio and no writing on the walls, quote. He notes that Longo's role was to make creative decisions about the game, while Olsen's was to push the game to completion in time for release, meaning Olsen did not replace Longo.
So, Matt, what's the writing on the wall to you?
I mean, contrary to what the wonderful community manager is saying, I'm going to go with the BioWare effect.
Oh, no.
I mean, maybe not that bad, but like...
The beginning of the Dragon Age Inquisition BioWare effect?
See, I didn't mind Inquisition.
There were clearly the beginning of the problems were in Inquisition. Because I didn't have a problem with it either. But there are definitely... Like, once you see the next games, you're like, oh,
Yeah, there's clearly
a point
slip. Yeah.
where it started, and you're like, okay, this is still
slip.
passable. And then
See,
the next one just doubles down on its problems. You're like, oh no.
I'm gonna go with the Andromeda effect because to me,
wait, that might be worse.
The 343, this just the lack of anything coming out is already kind of a scary thing because it's been how long since they've made anything? It's been a long time.
5, right?
I think it's been it's like probably like 6, 7.
No, I mean like it was Halo 5 was the last.
Yeah, Halo 5 was the last thing. So it's been
not counting whatever I guess they're doing, whatever if they're the ones doing anything for Master Chief Collection on the PC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. Speaking more of Microsoft, number 6, Microsoft is starting to test new content filters for its Xbox Live messaging system today in an effort to thwart toxicity on its platform. Microsoft has handled moderation on Xbox Live for almost 20 years, including the ability to report messages, gamer tags, photos, and much more, but this new effort places the player in control of what they will see on Xbox Live.
See, I'm going to pause you for a second. I don't know if you remember this, but I believe it was the 360. Like, everyone's making a big deal out of this new content filtering, which we'll get into when you finish, but everyone's making a big deal because it's like they're saying it's like a new thing, but the 360 launched with the ability to place your account on different levels of
what you could see.
Yeah, like there was the underground. There
they were weirdly named or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I was on underground.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I did.
What am I, a child?
I was wondering if I was just crazy and imagining all this, but it sounds very similar.
At first, Microsoft is rolling out text-based filters for messages on Xbox Live, but the company has a much broader goal of being able to filter out Xbox Live party sessions in the future, so live audio calls could be filtered with real-time bleeps, similar to broadcast TV. So when Nate now screams, "Fuck you!"
Yeah, beep you.
Yeah. Oh, you imagine the Fortnite lobbies? Just a bunch of 12-year-olds. Beep your mom. Beep beep.
Anyway. Even if they get that off the ground, the system would be so overloaded so quickly.
It would be funny if they could track the amount of beeps they had to do, just like in 1 hour. Like, oh yeah, we had to use the beep 7.3 billion times.
It's like they didn't learn when they made. Wasn't Microsoft the one that made the frickin' Twitter bot that started immediately turn into like a racist fascist or whatever?
Yes,
or was that Google?
It was Microsoft. I thought, wasn't it? It was
I think
they
it
turned
was
their AI with a Twitter account, and it turned into a Nazi.
Yeah.
Which is how AI works if you feed it misinformation constantly.
Yeah.
But that was I missed that. That was so fun. It was fun just to watch it happen. And then read like all the tweets back at it, and it's just like that's just so. It's the same thing though when you remember not to completely derail myself, but the Google Home and the Amazon Alexa talking to each other for the longest time. The guy had started a conversation between the two and was just live streaming them having a conversation. It was just so weird. There will be 4 new levels of text-based filtration available on Xbox Live users initially: friendly, medium, mature, and unfiltered. As you might imagine, friendly is the most child-friendly option, designed to filter out all potentially offensive messages. At the opposite end, there's unfiltered, which will work as Xbox Live messaging mostly works today. Filtered messages will appear with a new potentially offensive hidden message warning on them, and if you're using an adult Xbox Live account, you'll be able to click through to see the content and report it using the regular tools if need be. Child accounts will be placed into friendly level by default, and they'll be blocked by default from seeing potentially offensive messages. Parents will be able to manage the levels through the through Microsoft's family settings, and the filtering will work across Xbox One, Xbox Game Bar, and the Xbox apps for Windows 10, iOS, and Android. All I'm saying is, why is this considered a revolutionary feature?
I don't know.
It's just chat filtering.
It is just chat filtering, but
also, just turn off messages from that people that aren't on your friends list. That's how my PlayStation is set up that way.
I think mine is as well, just because I kept getting
put into spam groups.
Yep.
So I just said screw it, and I turned off messages. Not like, I mean, when are you going to message me on PlayStation instead of just text me?
Yeah.
Never.
I don't think we've ever used. I've never used PlayStation messaging for anything.
For anything actually, like, messaging wise.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes that's where your history would go to. You would see, like, so and so invited you to a party chat or whatever. But
yeah. I don't know.
And then most of the other games, anytime there's a system where like somebody can send me a message, it's just blocked from random sending me messages because I just don't want to deal with it anyway. So just you know, I don't care if you're going to send me something awful. I don't give a shit unless viruses and stuff like that. But that's a different discussion. If you're going to send me awful text chat or whatever, if you're not on my friends list, I'm not going to get it anyway because I just don't want to see all these messages from a bunch of 12-year-olds, which is one of the problems with the show. When people are playing online, the person will like go and add the person they're playing against and like message them in the PlayStation app and like start shit talking and stuff. And I'm like, I just wouldn't even bother. I would just decline every time. Be like, no, I don't care, dude.
I don't know. It just seems so unnecessary to me. Like,
right. But I mean, it is a good PR move. Listen, we're not the ones that are telling it to. They're going to market this walking right into holiday and go, don't worry about the new Xbox, Mom and Dad. You can make a child account where that kid can't see anything bad.
The best part is parents don't give a fuck, though.
Right. Parents are like, what's that, Timmy? You want a GTA 5? And I'm like, there's like hookers, blow, and mass murder in this, right? You want a GTA 5, Timmy? Timmy gets GTA 5. And I'm like, okay. The fucking lotion goes in the basket. I got it.
It's so much worse, too, now. It's like... Ugh. Anyways, Google.
I still remember being able to give people the look when like GTA 5 first came to PS4 and stuff, and people were coming in and buying it, and they have clear child with them, and they're like, "Yeah, so we're looking at GTA 5," and I just give them like the quick like double glance, like, "You fucking actually asking me for that?" And they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Well, while he's looking at other games, let me talk to you. I'll let you read the back of this, and I'll fully explain anything if you have any questions. But you're the parent. You want to do it for him, go for it."
Yeah.
But if he goes out and does a bunch of things later, once again, I blame your shitty parenting, not the game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's no fixing that. Google has announced that...
There ain't no fixing shitty parents except taking away their kids.
Exactly. Google has announced...
Or murdering them. The parent, not the kid.
Kids murdering the parents.
Kids murdering parents. That is a thought I didn't think about that.
Parents murdering the kids. Which is better.
What if it's a murder-suicide?
That's the ideal solution, really. Cleanse the earth. Google has announced
that cannot be reached. That can't be captured.
Speaking of Microsoft AI bots.
No, speaking of cleansing the earth, Google
has announced that Stadia will launch on November 19th.
Project Stadia, comrade. We no longer sell in Hong Kong.
We got that exact date now.
November 19th.
And you'll probably be plugging in Google's wireless Stadia controller when the cloud gaming service launches, because it's not so wireless after all. It'll work.
Who would have guessed?
Wirelessly with the Chromecast Ultra.
Yep.
But you'll have to plug in a USB-C cable if you want to use it with a computer or phone at launch.
I assume that's at least just for the beginning, and I would assume that anyway because my assumption, as I say, assume one more time, would be that it would just be easier for them to sync it if you physically connected it first.
I will.
I'm sure
we'll see what happens.
You know what? I'm going to let it play out. I'm going to let it ride. Somebody let me know.
When Google. Could
you
tell me about the Google?
How do I use my phone? I got no teeth.
When Google first showed off the controller in March, the company touted how you could seamlessly switch from gaming on your TV to a laptop or phone while using the same exact controller without having to pair it to each device, because the controller would stay directly connected to Stadia's servers over its own Wi-Fi. But as 9 to 5 Google spotted earlier today...
9 to 5?
Yeah, it's a website, 9 to 5 Google.
I'm all right. I respect it. I'll allow it.
Nate allows it. Google recently added a disclaimer in a new Stadia explainer video that wireless play will only be available on Chromecast Ultra at launch, and a Google Community Manager on Reddit later confirmed that meant you'll need to break out the USB cable for other devices, perhaps because Bluetooth also won't be an option by launch. Google said it's focusing on getting wireless play right on TV first because it wants that big screen experience to be as good as possible.
Makes sense, and this is also just a wonder of, like, did they just need to hit holiday season?
Probably, yeah. I'm wondering if they just can't seem to get the seamless wireless function to work seamlessly. And
they're like, you know what? We can get it out and get it out into people's hands and then just fix this constantly. Because, like, it works, but, you know, with this one caveat. And if people are really going to freak out about it, fuck them.
Yeah. Fuck them. We're Google. That's great.
You know that's what. You know, somebody just at a board meeting, like the guy standing up in front of the presentation is like, so this is kind of our problem. We don't know what we want to do about it. And there's just one of the long boards, right? And he's presenting to the people at the other end that are clearly like the four horsemen are of Google.
Okay.
And
I like where this is going.
Presenting to them, and he's like, there's kind of this problem here. And they're like, so what are we going to do to, like, fix that? And it's some random guy in the middle of the tables that's like, fuck him. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, who gives a shit? We're fucking Google. We're arguing about a USB-C cable? Fucking, who cares? Give them, I don't know, fucking, when we launch it, give them a week, and then if people don't read the news or whatever, they can contact us and we'll give them one for like $5 or something. Like, who fucking cares, man? And then the four horsemen are just like, yeah. Yeah, fuck them. Yeah, we agree. And then it's all some weird, like, really bro breakfast club, all high five together. Whatever.
All right.
Google board meetings are weird, man.
The four horsemen of Google.
I don't know if I can think of four things fast enough. Home, Drive, Pixel, and fuck them.
Search? I don't know.
yeah. Search, Google search engine. The four horsemen of Google. It's probably my favorite character I've ever created. Because one would just be red, one would be yellow, one would be blue, and one would be green.
Yeah, there you go.
They're already all colored.
Nailed it.
Somebody let me know what that.
Someone draw that up.
Yeah, what the artist rendering of that is. I want it on like a Red Dead sized banner poster, where it's their silhouettes, but it's the four horsemen of Google. Same font. The four horsemen of, and then Google.
You know what would be great? This is random. You brought up Red Dead, and I was thinking the time of year. It'd be nice if they dropped a DLC like the first Red Dead with the Nightmare.
Undead Nightmare.
Undead Nightmare.
People have been clamoring for Undead Nightmare for this one. You know what I would be clamoring for? To wipe my brain of Red Dead. And let me experience it fresh again.
Maybe the Four Horsemen can help you with that. You know?
Pull the SD card out of my skull. Put in a new one. Number 8, the Nintendo Switch has sold a total of 15 million units in North America alone since its launch in March of 2017. This number includes both the regular Nintendo Switch as well as the Nintendo Switch Lite, which launched just last month. Unit sales are up over 20% year-to-date as of the end of September. A total of 14 Nintendo Switch games have sold over 1 million units, and 4 have sold over 6 million units. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario and Super Mario Odyssey. The one I stuttered through was Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That's a lot of money for Nintendo.
That is a lot of money for Nintendo, and it's also, once again, I think, not shocking.
Yeah.
They're over 20% over year to date. Yeah, they fucking dropped a new console, you idiots. Sorry. Once again, Nate gets angry at... There's a segment. Nate gets angry at MPD numbers.
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yeah, exactly. It's the fucking Peter Griffin. You know what really grinds... No, I can't do a Peter Griffin voice. I came here to get off my lawn. Sonny. Shutty.
Our token World of Warcraft news. It's kind of lame this month.
Well, we already covered Blizzard's atrocities.
That's
so.
true. Stream Elements reports that in Q3, World of Warcraft was the third most watched game on Twitch, just behind Fortnite and League of Legends. It beat out categories such as just chatting,
Which is massive.
Grand Theft Auto 5,
Which can be massive depending on who's streaming it.
and Dota 2.
Only massive during the international.
So that's impressive still.
Yeah, there's still big categories to beat out in terms of like the grand scheme of things. But like Dota pulls its biggest numbers during international or tournaments. Grand Theft Auto 5 usually pulls when like Summit or somebody is playing the no pixel server.
Grand Theft Auto 5 has the big peaks and troughs.
Yeah. And just chatting is always in the top 3 usually.
Yeah.
Because everybody switches to just chatting while they are in between games or whatever. Some weird phenomenon there.
Yeah.
So, the two next things I want to talk about, I'll take the stories because I know what I'm going to talk about. One of them was Fortnite Chapter 2.
Yes. The black hole.
Thoughts just on the event? Because I think it was one of the, like, don't get me wrong, I don't give a shit about Fortnite, but it made me almost want to reinstall it. Quit trying to break the desk. That's the second time this podcast.
Sorry. I just need something to do with my legs.
Do it over there. Just take your mic. It's on a cord. You can walk it 25 feet. You can go take a piss in the bathroom while you're still doing this podcast.
That'd be weird.
Would it though? You wouldn't. I wouldn't be looking at you, but the listener would.
I don't. I just kind of know basics. I didn't really look into it too much. I know that they took the servers down and just put up a black hole or something like that. Like they destroyed the game, kind of.
So, if you were in game when it happened, you watched a basically cataclysmic event, and then you and the world you were on get sucked into a black hole, and then you were just left at the black hole screen.
Yep.
If you were in the lobby, you watched the lobby get sucked away into a black hole screen.
Okay.
And then the servers went offline. The Epic Store crashed.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch basically crashed.
Yeah.
And they just kept streaming the black hole.
And from my understanding, they literally didn't say anything about this beforehand.
They never told anybody. They had a Trello board. I don't know if you know what Trello is. It's like a project management board where you can see a bunch of tasks. And so you can use it for, like, if you're doing programming or whatever, you can just put a bunch of tasks in and people can move them around for what's important, stuff like that. They have a public-facing Trello board for, like, what they're working on in Fortnite. They wiped that out before they did this.
Yeah.
So that all went to nothing. So nobody had any idea.
And the other thing I read was they deleted all their tweets.
Yeah, they basically just blacked everything. They went black. They went dark. Yeah. They truly went dark. And
people were contacting. The other thing I saw was like people were contacting like Sony, and Sony's response was, "We believe this is related to an upcoming event or something like that." Was there? They had like a generic
and there was talk that Fortnite probably warned some of the big streamers of like, "Hey, just so you know, like this is gonna kind of happen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't freak out." And two, if you want to make sweet content on it, it's gonna be easy money.
Yeah.
But it was, they come back up, new world, new things to do, new world meaning new map, new activities in new world, yada, yada, yada. More stuff than I'm going to talk about now. But just the event and the idea of we know we're going somewhere with this, and why bother doing just a regular downtime maintenance if in the middle of a Sunday afternoon we just turn the game off?
Yeah. I thought it was a really fun way of doing it. Like it was creative, I thought.
Yeah,
like,
we need to have this downtime because we need to fix this stuff. And this isn't to say that there's 18,000 things that potentially went wrong in the background. And they're just like, they flip the switch and then they're like, if this doesn't work, we're fucked. But their ability to do public events like this is crazy. It's basically a new game launch, but they had people playing the game, then just took it offline and came back with a completely, or not completely new, but you know what I mean, a new game, like the Last of Us 2 essentially. Just shows up. And they're like, there it is. See you guys later. And they didn't drop patch notes for Chapter 2 either.
Okay.
they're just like, there it is. Go explore. Talk to you guys later. So there's just, I don't know, it was just a lot of cool moment, I thought, because I obviously am not paying, I'm not, my finger's not on the Fortnite pulse. But when I'm scrolling through Twitter on Sunday while I'm watching football, and all I'm seeing is people talking about, like, oh my God, Fortnite broke Twitch, Fortnite, and I try to go play Borderlands, and Epic Store didn't work, and I was like, that's so weird. And then I kind of look up some stuff, and I was like, Black Hole. They finally, and I've seen people that are saying stuff about, like, oh, they finally cured the Fortnite addiction by taking it offline, and yada yada. I'm like, this is nuts. And then I see it come back up with the whole thing, and I was like, okay, so what happened? And I went back and watched, like, some people that were streaming or, like, had the lobby shots of it happen live and stuff, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's especially pretty cool if you can execute it as well as they did.
Yeah. So now it's a trend. Everyone's going to be doing it, so.
I don't think everybody's going to be able to do it. I think it's definitely one of those, like, this is more or less reserved to Epic. Because they're using Unreal Engine 4. They made Unreal Engine 4. Mm-hmm. They know how to do all of this and make it, simultaneously everybody that's in a game just fucking disappeared. Like not that without just walking over and pulling the plug on the power,
yeah,
we're still doing all of this stuff and yada yada. So it's funny when you see events like this, right? And then you see PUBG, which is on Unreal 4. You're like, what? How? How do you suck so bad? You're like, oh yeah, that's right, because they made Unreal Engine 4. Or Unreal, I should just say.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Fortnite has
it's got the magic sauce.
That and they trend set in the industry right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think
there's other things that could potentially try to do it, but it's one of those where it's like I could almost see Blizzard trying to do something like this when they announced World of Warcraft 2, but now it's no longer going to be cool, and they're just like, God damn it, Epic.
Yeah.
But
nothing Blizzard does anytime soon is going to be cool.
But they also wouldn't do it live server like that. There's no way.
Yeah.
They would.
I was thinking more along the lines of like the like the shooters, the always online shooters and stuff like that, like Destiny and that type of thing.
Right. But even the Destiny one would be interesting. But then again, you'd have to be really careful that you're not yanking people out of mid boss raid fights or something.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, we're about to down Crota and we're gone. The fuck? I am just double checking something. The other thing I wanted to talk about is NBA 2K is officially the 6th best selling franchise ever now. In terms of, like, I think box sales or something. There is a caveat on that number.
Okay.
Like, I think it's either box sales or box sales at full price, like those numbers, not like, $5 in a bin or whatever.
Yeah.
Is now the 6th most, and NBA 2K20, the one that came out this year, is the highest selling one in the series, is the currently highest selling game this year, I believe, is also the other thing. It is currently year to date the highest selling game.
That's hard to believe, but
and it was basically brought up because of all the atrocities they took with the 19 stuff that I think talked about too, like their microtransactions and stuff. And like, yeah, you can beat the hell out of your community, but the majority of the people that are playing that game don't care.
Yeah.
It's the loud vocal minority, and it only shows by how much NBA 2K has been able to just if there's already the number one selling game this year, which I think will once again be beaten probably by Call of Duty, and then I think Pokemon beats all of it. But
I
that's
don't understand.
People love their sports games, man.
I know, but like, at what? Like, how do you get a game like that and you just like? Are they just not can you play the game without interacting with the microtransactions? I'm assuming you can. So are they just ignoring them, or are they just like, fuck it, we got to give them more money? Like,
I think it's both. I think it's one. Who's
got this fucking income where they can just be like making it rain on these games?
So I think people definitely can do it with ignoring it or whatever. But then there's also just people that are like, whatever. $10, I wanted a sweet haircut. And I'm like, I don't understand how you justify that at all, but okay.
I ain't got that money.
You know, other times it could just be kids. You know, mom knows Timmy wants 2K20. The credit card's not on the account, so she buys the physical copy, and then he just deals with it. But, you know, he's playing basketball. And his favorite player's Steph Curry or whatever, and they're just, you know, that's just what he does.
I can only think of like one time I've spent money on like something like that, and it was World of Warships. I bought a ship, and the game's free to play. So
yeah, I can think of times I've definitely done stuff like that, but not for 2K or FIFA or anything.
Not on that level.
None of those where I'm like, oh, I'm going to put money in this so I can get this new sweet shoe. Like, no, that hasn't. Like, those are all cosmetic. Like, Warships, yeah, makes sense. You buy the ship. Like, you're buying an actual, like, new character, essentially.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't remember. I'm sure I have, but I can't think of it right now. Like, I'd have to not look at my history, but really think about what have I microtransactioned in? What have I Doug Dimmadomed?
See the meme?
Yeah.
When you're getting dimmadomed and your girlfriend walks in.
Where did you see that?
I saw it on Reddit.
Todd sent it to me because it was on Bikini Bottom Twitter.
Yeah,
and he sent it to me, and
it was on like it wasn't. I didn't see it on that because I don't follow that. It was in another subreddit. It was like, it was a SpongeBob thing, I think.
Yeah, because it was him sitting with a 10-gallon hat on in his house or whatever. Yeah, Doug Dimmadome, owner of the Dimsdale Dimmagimme Dome. Doug Dimmadab. All right, we out. It's been a long one. Just remember everything we said, and then repeat it back to us because we'll forget. And then we'll see you again in 7 days. Bye-bye.